What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest live show. What up, Manny?
Yo, what up, Shutty? You changed your name today.
I had to.
Oh, that's right. We got two Ryans in the house today.
You know,
that's awesome. All right.
You know,
I like that.
So,
what's up? How are you?
I'm doing okay. 60 some degrees today, bro. 60 some degrees. That means when we come back from MTE, we're going to have a foot of snow on the ground. That's all. Because every year we come back from MTE, there's snow. So this means we're going to get slammed. Or maybe we'll get so much snow here, I just have to spend the week in Florida.
Yeah, don't let your wife listen to this.
Yeah. So what's going on? How about you?
Not much, man. I'm doing good. Just another day in paradise, you know. We're actually suffering here a little bit. It's been pretty cold.
Cold?
It's about like 50.
I don't even get really. I'm telling you, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know about you anymore. I'm starting to get scared.
We're in the 50s tonight.
We're suffering.
I am telling you, California, it's suffering right now.
We're suffering.
We also did get a lot of rain, man. It was crazy rain today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, it's good. You know, just working away. I got a little D&D package today. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been talking about it all day, all week. I don't know. It's always fun when you get like new tools, right? Like you cannot stop playing with it. Like
I did a bedside on a Silverado. It was bad. Crease through the wheel, all the way through the lip, all the way through to the taillight.
Ooh.
And you know what? I fixed a lot of it. I took the filler neck out of it. Well, I didn't, because I'm a prima donna. Mikey took the filler whole section out of it because I don't have to worry about taking cars apart anymore. And I stuck a 2x4 inside there and used the J-Bird and the Excalibur tip and the Reaper tip. And bro, that pure, I literally was just rocking it, just walking all the way to the seam of the wheel opening. Like that tool.
It's crazy because I kind of did the same thing using the B&D tab today, and I just threw a bunch of glue on it. And you know, using big tabs to move a lot of metal, it's just
you do have some technique to build there, though. Like that, you know, I mean, you think of the tip, you're like, oh, I'm going to use this. But when I started using the Reapers, I was like, I need to start rocking this around a little bit, and it really did a nice job. You know, it was nice. It was a good. You know. So what's your thoughts?
You know what you're going to need with the Reaper is this ratcheting tip, man.
Because I don't have one, so you know.
You'll get it soon, but look, just so imagine having the tab, and I don't know if you lock that nut in.
I just do it by hand.
Right, like I was doing that earlier today with the little hook for the edge of the fender. I was just holding it, you know. But just being able to move it around and position it how you like. Like I said, I was using this tab. It's so fun, man. And what's cool is that I kept getting dents that I could use these tools with, you know, because sometimes it happens where like you got a brand new tool and you're just not getting those dents where you could use it, you know.
Power PDR box, same problem here. I'm not going to use that thing. It's going to sit over there, sit at the shop over on the cabinet, just sit there. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's nice.
It just happens, you know. And so with these tools, it's been great to, you know, being able to play around with that. Other than that, everything's good. Really super duper excited for MTE.
I am too, man. I really am.
I hope the wife is not watching the show.
Did you see the John Vidine movie, the Hallelujah video?
No, I have not seen that.
Everybody's got to check that video out because he spent a ton of money on the video. And me and Ash sat here and we were laughing our asses off. Like, it's just a great movie. So it's on the Dent Reaper YouTube page. You've got to go to it and check it out. It is really awesome. It is freaking awesome.
I gotta watch that.
I truly enjoyed it. Like the music. I had to call him today. I said, is that Jay? Rockstar Jay? And he's like, no, because it sounds just like him. Like I was
really.
So you gotta check that out.
It's a great video.
Now, the automotive world did lose an icon this week.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Ken blocked the passing, so that was a huge hit. And I was super fortunate to spend a little bit of time with him when I was in my car game. So it's definitely sad to watch a guy that just was good for the automotive industry. But hopefully Liz and all the family work through it. So
yeah, tough times.
Yeah, it is. It's that crazy times of the year, and those guys are a different breed. Ken and Vaughn Gidding and all those boys. They're Travis Pastrana. A lot of these guys are from here. In Maryland, and they're a different breed of guys. They're not scared. You know what I mean? They do things and they just don't. They're like, let's do it. Let's go. They're just not scared. So they're just like different breed. The skateboarders, the dirt bike rider, they're just different than us, man. They're missing part of their brain that just says, I'm scared to do these things.
Yeah. So, caution. Nope. They don't see that stuff.
But I am excited about MT. I'm excited to see everybody. You know what I mean? And talk and enjoy ourselves and go from there. Kevin Berg keeps calling me. He's like, are you sure you're coming? Are you still coming? Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, because last time you actually did that to us, the last like 2 weeks before you changed it. Oh, sorry, I'm not gonna be able to.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
That's awesome, man. Can't wait.
So let me see that tip. Let me see. We talked about it last week.
So this is the round tip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what the names of these tips are, but
I thought he called it Spartan, maybe, because it kind of looks like
they're almost like alien Spartan. I don't know. They're crazy looking.
Is that a polished head on it?
Yeah. At least the tip is. Been using this one a lot. This one I gave it a test run today on a crease. Worked good. I also got to use the big oval size one.
Okay.
He has 3. So far, this one's my favorite right now. And then this one.
Now on the ratcheting part.
Yeah, man.
How much movement is in there?
So this one, I mean.
Very little.
Very little. But, the thing is that the play in this ratcheting tip is not the same as the play on the ratcheting handle where you could feel it on the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one, you don't feel it. Like you just get in there. Once it touches the metal, like it stays in place.
Locks it in.
It locks it in. So that honestly has not been an issue. I just keep turning it, man. Like I just love that part about it.
It seems like it's pretty good tight sprocket to it. You know what I mean? Like when you look at a Craftsman ratchet compared to a Snap-on ratchet, you feel the difference. You know what I mean? It seems like it's got a pretty good spline to it. What's the screw-on end of it look like? The very bottom. Oh, okay, I see.
So that is the nice thing that he did, that he put like in case you screw it on too tight into your tool, you could put, a tool and just, turn it.
Yeah.
A wrench and turn it. And then same thing up here. Like if your tip is screwed on too tight, then same thing. You just put a tool there and just, unscrew it. So that's 2 little cool features. I don't know, man. That's why Mike from B&D called me. He's like, Manny, why are you calling this the game changer? I'm like, because it is. Like it's giving us so much advantage into just getting created, to what we already do. Is just like so much what's the word? Versatility. Am I saying
versatility?
That right?
Versatility. You were close. You were good.
To get creative. And I think that for me personally, I've had other tips that have that locking nut in there.
It's a pain in the ass.
That I've tried to use, and I was never successful with that.
Yeah.
And those tips got put away because of that, So now just being able to have this, it's awesome. And I know that some guys were asking me, well, can I just buy the ratchet thing? I think you can. I'm not sure. You have to look into it. But the whole kit's actually not bad. Like I said.
So it comes in a case and everything, right? Okay.
I almost thought I received like a gun or something because it almost looks like a gun case.
That's nice.
But yeah, so it's a little case and you get all the tips in there. So you get what, 6 tips and then the ratcheting. The thing's actually not bad.
Is it heavy?
Not really. I mean, it's not overweight. I think it weighs just what you would expect, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, man. But anyways, so far so good. I think it's been a great tool. So I just can't wait to put more use to it. And if anyone's interested, I think you can order it from B&D, and you can get it MTA.
It's a good addition. You know what I mean? I think it's a good add-on to what tools you have or tips you have, and I think it's a good idea. When you first showed it to me, I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, and Ron, First Shot PDR, he actually says that you could actually buy everything separate. So if you're only interested in one thing, you can buy one thing. If not, buy the whole thing.
Nice.
And disclaimer, I am not here to like sell you on these tools. It's a show.
Honest reviews. I mean, you heard me a couple weeks ago. I told you an honest review. You know what I mean? And I've been hearing about it for a week. I've had lots of people call about my comments about great tool, terrible company. So,
by the way, thank you everyone for joining us and watching the show. We've held Ryan back for 3 weeks, so we appreciate you guys joining us.
And I was every time I'm like, man, I am so sorry. Man, I am so sorry. Come on, I am so sorry. Because we don't do that, you know what I mean? But it was just one thing after the next. But it's okay. He's coming on. Let's get him on here because he's going to have to help you with the joke.
Oh, yeah, please.
And next week, we are having Sheldon and Kevin Bird to go over some additional details about MTE, some of them that have not been announced yet.
That's cool. It's getting hot in here. I'm going to take out my sweater.
Man, he's getting hot in that 50-degree weather. Ooh. Oh, Jesus. And we're also going to be going live in the PDR Podcasters booth at MTE. So we're going to do a live show there. So
shout out to Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken's rocking away, getting tools ready for MTE.
He is. You know, I tell you, I was talking to somebody earlier in the week, and I said, can I tell you one thing that's funny as hell? Was Ken's company party. And he just sits down, puts his feet up, puts his coffee down. I was like, that was funny as shit.
I love that video too.
So good job, Ken. But let's get Ryan on here, get this thing on the row. And like I said, he's gonna have to help you with this weekly joke. So I didn't want to.
Please.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey,
there he is. What's
How
up,
are you?
Ryan?
I'm good. Are you
Looks
guys?
like you cold over there? You look like you're cold because I
Yeah,
know you're in
man.
a cold state.
Turn the heat up a little bit in here.
All right.
What's the name of your company and where are you from?
I am Ryan Campbell, owner of Campbell Paintless Dent Repair, and we are out of Menor, Ohio, so Northeast Ohio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What's the weather there?
40 degrees and rainy.
Wow.
40 and rain.
So
Rain,
it was
cold and rain.
warm. It's coming your way, I think, Ryan.
Yeah.
You didn't
just
even
started raining.
call that a cold state. You call that like a freezing state.
I don't know. I talked to Vidine today, and he got like 18 inches of snow last night. So that's when you're not working because of the snow, it's never fun.
Shout out to Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you, brother.
So we do a weekly joke. My kid picks a joke out every week, and Manny really struggles. So
it's bad.
Let's get this thing. He needs the help, Ryan. So hopefully, most Ryans are really smart. So I think we're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for this? And everybody in the chat, if you got the answer, put it out there. Why did the cell phone get glasses?
Because you couldn't see?
So why did the cell phone get glasses?
Why did the cell phone?
What's up, John?
So you could see better. I don't know. Why did they? I don't know.
Sorry, Manny. I'm not.
No, it's cool. I actually think it's a PDR thing. Like we put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
You know, like we're getting technical here. Like,
So why did the cell phone get glasses?
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
so you can see better.
Because she lost all of her contacts. Come on, guys.
I should have known that. I got rid of my contacts. I got that LASIK stuff up.
So
Jeff
are you going to MTE?
Yes, sir. I am. I'm already booked. I'll be flying in Tuesday, and I'll be there the whole time.
Nice.
Yep.
Ryan, tell us a little bit about your background.
So it's kind of long, but I'll start way back when in my automotive career. So I've always worked on cars and stuff. My dad was a body tech, so I would always go to the shop he worked, and it was kind of in my blood. And he told me all the time, "Don't become a body man." Sure as shit, what I do, and I became a body man. But I was working at a local body shop when I was in high school, just saving money up, learning how to do the work and stuff. But my main goal was I was going to go to school for nuclear engineering, which sounds fancy, but it was really rebuilding pumps and stuff like that in the nuke plant, because they were giving people jobs right off the rip. I did that schooling for about like 2 years after high school, and I was working at the body shops, and I decided I wanted to go all in on the body shop. So I was a detailer. I was moved up to parts manager. I was a writer, and then finally I became a body man. It's weird to go from like all that to being a body man.
Yeah.
I became really good at doing body work. And
around what year was this?
Shit. I graduated in 06. So I would say, I think I was, because during high school I was working. So I'd say I started 04-ish, maybe.
Okay.
03, 04. Graduated 06 and went full time in the body shop. I went to a couple body shops, and obviously that's where I met PDR guys. And, you know, everybody that doesn't do PDR, they know it's like they think it's magic. And I just kind of fell in love with it. Nobody that I talked to would talk to me about it. They were pretty secretive about it, like most guys are.
Yeah. Especially around that time too, right? Because it was like the transition to like social media stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But then I was working with a guy, Steve, doing body work. At this time, I was making great money as a body man. And I decided with him that we were going to try to go to PDR school. We talked about it, and then another 1.5 2 years go by. And then through those times, I would push him like, hey, let's get a date. Let's go. And then I would kind of fall off, and then he would come back at me. And finally, we convinced each other to go. And I think it was in 2014. We ended up going. We went to a place in Kentucky. It was called Dent Perfect PDR School. It was just in a guy's garage, and we got the basics from it. And we took a vacation. I was working for a body shop at the time, and when I told them, they were a little bit weird about me doing it because I was paying for it out of pocket. I didn't want no ties in anything.
Yeah.
I've seen, like, you hear of a lot of PDR guys that they get trained with a company and sign a contract, and then they leave and they kind of void the contract and move out of state. It's how like the one local guy here did it. And I didn't feel right about like having a company pay for it. So I did it out of my own pocket, took vacation time. And the place I worked for, after I told them that, they're like, well, at least let us buy some tools for you if you're going to do the work here. So we made a deal for the first year. They gave me, I think it was like $1,200 or $1,500 towards tools. So when I got out of class, I got a nice A1 kit and a light and stuff like that. And I did the dents for them for a year. Even though it wasn't anything signed, I made sure that I stuck to it, made sure I logged what I made them. And that year I made them like $35,000. And
Wow.
on top of being their frame guy, their body guy, I was a writer. I was checking parts in. I was kind of running the shop. My dad was the writer there. So him and I just pretty much, he wrote, managed the shop, and then I did everything else on the floor.
Oh, perfect.
So
Nice.
they did good on me that year. And we sat down after a year, and they didn't log anything. I logged it all in a book with ROs and what just in PDR work, not including R&Is that I did for that PDR job. And I didn't keep track of the thousands of hours that I turned for them that year. But they didn't, it was unfortunate. They didn't want to like give me even 1% of PDR work for the following year. So I left, and I moved on to another body shop with, he's actually a good friend. I would call him a good friend of mine, the owner of that shop. And I won't even put out any names or anything. But he offered me to run my company out of his shop while I was working flat rate. So then I started working flat rate at that time. And I did that for about 3 years. It was awesome. I kind of learned the in and outs of business. I created my LLC then. Cool. I was doing a little bit of side work. He was cool with it. He even said, it's like, have your customers come to the shop. He's like, I don't want electric money, nothing. He's like, even on the weekends. I didn't utilize that too much because I just felt, weird, like I was using the shop. But I did all his dent work, build it up on a piece of paper, paper invoices. I think I got off Amazon. And I was doing good. I think I was billing like $1,300 a month on just PDR work, had my tools there.
And you were building, you were learning while you were still making a little. It kind of worked out really well for you, I'm sure. Now, do you see an advantage from having a body guy, being a body guy, going to Paintless, besides the R&I end of it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it was a challenge for you to learn because you had a body shop background, or was it easier?
No, I mean, I think it's going to be different for every single person because there are some stubborn body men out there. So I'm a very open-minded person. So it was easier for me. Obviously, like I've cut quarter panels off. I've taken engines out. So I kind of knew what was behind the quarter panel. When there's a wheelhouse, when it's double layered. I've skinned millions of doors. So like, I know what's in the doors. I know the edge and where it at. So all that definitely helps. The R&Is, obviously, everybody knows that helps. Access to all data and stuff like that was very beneficial. The main thing is, like, if you're a body man and then you're going into PDR, you have all your expensive R&I tools. And I still have all my body tools. I didn't get rid of any of that. So you have everything. That's a big part. I bet you my body tools, I have as much as my PDR tools in cost. So that was a good chunk that I already have. We use them still to this day, every day. My guys use them. It definitely, being a body man definitely helps. So a big thing it helps too, being a writer. When I was writing cars and I was doing parts, matching estimates, stuff like that, dealing with insurance agents, knowing supplements, knowing all the little odds and ends stuff, I can write an estimate, a conventional repair estimate, and show the customer what it would be. I can look at a car and I'm always like, that's going to be $1,200 to $1,600 at the body shop. They'll go get a body shop estimate and they call me and they're like, how the heck did you know that so quick?
Yeah.
Like I've done it a few times. So, and I always give the little range for them. So I don't, sound cocky when I'm talking to them. I give them a range. So
I think that's a huge benefit. Like Manny worked in a body shop. I worked in a body shop for a little while, and I think that helps with the selling also, because you can sit here and honestly say it's going to be $1,000 to $1,500. My repair is $700. I have it done in one day. You're going to have a week. Now we've got longer because of parts, but I think that's a huge huge thing.
I think you just learned that customer service skills on its own, you know, because you got to learn how to sell. You got to learn how to BS.
Yes.
Right. And you got to learn how to just negotiate, you know, and you got to learn how to just speak when the client, you know, when they're asking those tough questions, you know, and it teaches you a lot, I just think.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, go ahead, Ryan. So you were saying, so you were at the shop and you were working there for 3 years.
So yeah, I was at that shop 3 years. I think I was there for around 4, but after about 3.5, my boss sold to Abra, and it was right at that Abra Caliber merge, right? So when we were kind of devastated that it was selling because it was a family business, and we would go ride 4-wheelers on the weekend, stuff like that. So we kind of,
This was like what, 2018, 2017?
so that was yeah, I would say, yeah, about 2017.
Yeah.
Middle 2017, I want to say. We could look up and see when Abra and Caliber merged. It was right in
Yeah, I remember that time.
Yeah, so Abra actually bought us, and we had an agreement, and the owner had an agreement where, like, all right, so Ryan, he runs his PDR business. We had another guy that did the landscaping that worked there, so he would bring his lawnmower in, and we all had our little businesses, and our boss helped us with
That's so
that.
cool, man.
Yeah, he was an amazing guy, and I don't blame him. You know, everybody that creates a business, and end goal is to sell it and retire, and he was at that age, and I was on his side for it, and I think he did it in a really good way where he made that contract with Abra to make sure everybody sticks to what they're doing, what they're getting paid. And it did for like a month, and then Caliber merged, and it wiped all that clean. So Abra was like, you know, it's no longer that contract with them because they switched. And man, I came in the one morning and they switched all the computers and everything, and I was the highest producing tech in that shop. And I was 200 hours some weeks, and I was working 45 to 50, so it's not like I was living there. And I was making probably about 135 to 145 grand a year is what I was making it as a body guy. That wasn't including the PDR. So I was doing amazing. Man, once the Caliber took over, not bashing it, I shouldn't say anything bad, but from what we had with the family-owned business, and nobody would block my stall or anybody tech stall. We just had a mutual respect and helped people. So like, even if like the guy next to me had a job outside and it was snowing, I would pull that in if I was pulling mine in, let it thaw for him, and we would just help each other.
Yeah.
And the one day, once they took over, I came in and all the computers were piled up outside of my 2 bays because I was right up by the office. And I had to move boxes and boxes and computers. They just literally threw them out the door because they switched them all. And at that point, I knew I was that number now. I was just number. I actually had a number. I forget it now. You had to type it in and then use your fingerprint to sign in. But I know, like, the Caliber and Abras, they're giving a lot of people great careers, and it was just the way it went down there. It's a little bit weird. So I left, went to another body shop, and that one he was doing a similar thing. It wasn't as good as what we had prior, and I stayed there for about 2 years. And at that time, I was listening to podcasts because I'm a big hunter, so I would listen to like Meat Eater podcasts. Right? Never knew podcasts existed at that time for PDR. So I'm learning all this stuff about hunting, and I'm like, man, what can I learn about PDR? And meanwhile, I'm still working. I'm still doing PDR work. I don't know anybody in the business. I'm just doing what I feel is right. I had customers on the side, family members, people that would come in. I had my little shop in the end of this building at the time. And I was just working full time, doing my PDR, and I would be here till 10, 11 o'clock at night sometimes.
Man, talk about hustle.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I finally did it, and I typed in PDR, and PDR College podcast popped up. Man, every single body job I did. All I had was my headphones in. I'm cutting cars apart. I'm just listening. And I actually listened to them from the recent one all the way back. I listened to them backwards. And I listened to every single one, some of them multiple times. Then I started finding other podcasts. And at that time, Corey Kleinfeld was, he just started his. And they were real short in the beginning. And I would listen to his between the PDR college ones because, man, I would wait Monday morning. I'm like waiting for him to release it. And they did it pretty consistently back then. But I ended up, I think Corey reached out to me on Facebook because I was liking his stuff. And he called me. He's like, hey, you care if I call you? I'm like, yeah, please. And he was the first guy that I really talked to. Then I reached out to a couple other guys because I didn't know what to expect in the industry. Nobody here would talk to me. I was trying to give the best work that I can do from what I knew. I didn't even know if I was good. I was a body guy, and I'm just like trying to glass these dents out. I didn't know anybody else was doing so. I didn't know about Bryce Kelly or what people were doing. But I was doing huge repairs, huge dents. A lot of it was like push to paint for the body shops I worked for. And I'm like, man, if I spend another 3-4 hours on this, I could sell it and it can go. And I didn't know it was getting done until the podcast. And then I know PDR College, they released like some numbers that people like money that people were making. And I'm like, man, I could probably quit my job as a body man and at least make the same amount and do it for myself. And finally, after talking to Corey, he's like, man, what are you waiting for? He's like, worst case scenario, you go back to being a body man. Yeah. I'm like, dude, once he said that, it just clicked. And I had a client base built up. I had my LLC. I knew the business end of it. I had a good reputation because I will never screw somebody over. Yeah. So at that time, like people were spreading my name out there. I made cards, passed them out.
You really had nothing to lose.
Yeah, at that time, man. Yeah, and I left my toolbox in the body shop I was working for probably about 2 months. And I told him, I said, hey, if it don't work, I'll be back. And never. The only time I went back is to get my toolbox and do their PDR work. So we still service that body shop. I'm good. That's good. Yeah, every single place that I've left, we still service them. We help them out. That's so cool. I've always left a job on a good note. I've never just left 2-week notice. I've offered to train people. I'm not one I want to go to sleep at night.
Yeah. I remember early on in my body shop industry, that was the one thing that one of my managers stopped me, and I'll never forget, is just like, whatever you do, keep your name clean.
Yep.
You know, so I hear you 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I did. And finally I took that leap, man, and I had my little Scion XB. I went to Southern Ohio. Like I have a cabin in Southern Ohio, so I'd always go down there. And I took my truck and my trailer, and I bought this thing for $3,000. Had a bunch of dents in it. I fixed it. I wrapped it. Never wrapped a car in my life, but I would just like cut out all these camouflage neon green. It's so gaudy and ugly. I still got it. I still use it to this day. Stuck them all on it, and then I had my little shop, 1,000 square foot in the back of this building, the building now that I own. But I just kept busting ass every day, man. And I set daily goals. I start every day at 0, even to this day. Because you save up money, you have money, you get comfortable. Don't do that, because like one of my buddies I was talking to, he's like, man, I'm losing motivation. How do I get motivated? I said, wake up every day broke. Motivate you. And
I like that.
Yeah, you have to wake up every day and you're broke. You got to make it to pay your bills. You know, I don't even look at, like, obviously I keep track of what's in the bank account, but like all your savings and everything, you just kind of don't think about that when you wake up, because you get comfortable and you get lazy. So
yeah.
What year was this that you said, all right, I'm going all in, where you got your small shop?
So that was right when COVID hit its prime.
Yes.
Right, 2019, I think it was. So it was July of 2019. I kind of wrote down a couple like dates because I want to make sure that everything was on.
Now, how was that combination? Like
So
you just opening up the shop and you know.
It actually went good. And I figured if I do it now with the way everything was going, it was literally when businesses were shutting down and there was lockdowns and stuff like that. And I just set my daily goals, man, and I did whatever it took to do it. And it helped too when I was at that body shop working and COVID started and them shutdowns kind of started. I would take off Fridays and man, I'm going out on a Friday from not working because the body shops were dead. Like there was nothing. So I would go out to make money and work. I'm not one to just go sit at home and hunker down and wait for, things to happen. And I was making billing $1,000 on Friday. I'm like, man, if I could bill this Monday through Friday. And that's when I took the leap. It was like shortly after, like during that shutdown time, right in there. And I did it. And that's when I left my tools there. I went back to pick them up a couple months later. And honestly, never looked back. And then my mindset was just, I want to hire guys. I want to grow. I want to give people the opportunity to work for a place that's clean, that's neat, that I give them their leeway. Like if somebody needs to take a day off or they want to come in a little later, I'm very easy with my guys because I just want them to be happy. And like I tell my wife, I'm like, I've got everything that I've ever wanted. Like I've got all my toys that I wanted. I just want the business now. I want a place where my guys can come. They're happy to come here. They're working. They're making a living. I'm making a living, and we're growing too. That's my main thing. Is I want to have multiple locations. But it's hard, man. It's hard doing it as a one-man show. I'm into real estate too, so I sold 3 houses in 21. Flipped them and sold them, and I have a couple rental properties, and then my building that I have. So that, speaking of hustling earlier, man, honestly, it was a little bit unhealthy because I was killing myself. I would be working nonstop, running my business, then I would be at the house. Like we'd buy these cheap houses that need renovated, and I would do the work till 2 a.m, come home. My kids are sleeping. I'd give them a kiss, go to bed, take a shower, then go to bed, wake up and do it again. And
wow,
it was tough. It was tough.
How many kids do you have, Ryan?
I got 2 kids. I have a 13-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter.
Wow.
So yeah.
Nice.
It sounds like you've been married for some time now too.
Yeah, we got married in March 9th of here. I got it tattooed on me. 09.
Smart man.
March 7th of 09. So here's a tech tip. Get your anniversary tattooed on you. And we still forgot that shit the one year. So we're sitting there at the dinner table, and me and my wife were talking, just eating dinner. And she just like looks at me like ghost. I'm like, what? She's like, holy shit, it's our anniversary today. I'm like, see, I was waiting for you. I'm like, you forgot. I played it like that. Yeah. No, I totally forgot too. But this was like 4 years ago. Now we obviously slowed down a little bit to where we were.
How was that world of like trying to take care of your family and trying to like build your business? Was there any
stressful? It was tough, like that. I would say 21 was very tough because like there's a fine balance that I'm learning with family life, and you gotta go as hard as you can to start a business and not fail, but yet you don't want to take from your family. So it's like, it's hard. So I just honestly, I hope I did a good job. I asked my wife, like, hey, she's like, we're here now, we're good, but.
Well, I always say this is, and we've said it a couple times on the show, if you don't have that support, you're probably going to fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have a wife or a significant other that's on your ass because you're not home, or, she doesn't understand why you're working so hard, it's an uphill battle, man. I mean, you've got to have that support team. And if you're single, you need to have supportive friends. You know, we always hear all the time on all these motivational speakers, it's all about the people you surround yourself with. And I believe that, you know, I really do. If you've got a friend that's kind of a deadbeat, or you have a friend that's successful, you always want to hang out with the successful one. You know, you always want to kind of spend more time with them. For one, you're going to learn more. For two, it puts you around the right people that you want in your network. So, but the support, man, in any way you look at it, is huge.
Yeah, and she was, I mean, shit, since we were 19, we got married. And she's been a saint ever since. So everything's good. I mean, that's going on what, 14 and a half years now we've been together, and we actually got engaged, and then we found out she's pregnant. I had to move the wedding date a little bit sooner so my grandparents didn't kick my butt. And yeah, so we did all that. And but yeah, she's always like, we're a good team together. She'll push me to get things done, and I'm one, like, you push me to it and challenge me, I'm doing it. Like, if the work's in front of me, it's getting done. And she, like right now, she's on a kick of our one bathroom is perfectly fine if she's watching, and she wants it renovated, and she's gonna rip it out, and I'm gonna renovate it.
That's so cool, Ryan. It sounds like, you know, throughout your life, I mean, becoming a bodyman and moving on from shop to shop and learning PDR and growing in that and learning real estate and growing with that. Now, I personally, I would say living the dream, you know, owning your shop, having guys that still wanting to grow, you know. I feel that naturally it happens to us that we meet a certain goal, and time goes by and we never move on. We always seem to like stay there. You know, there's a lot of guys that become PDR guys and they stay there. They never look forward to more, like trying to grow, trying to get into a shop. What's your secret behind that?
So I guess a lot of it's just, you know, motivation, and like I said earlier, man, start every day at $0, and it motivates you big time. And I just push myself every day. And you know what, honestly, there's a lot of days, even when I do kick butt, I just don't feel like I did enough. I feel like I could do better, and then it makes me push harder the next day. I was at a point where, like, I was pretty unhealthy doing all the work and stuff, and I had to come to terms. I had some help from some coaches and stuff to where I was eating better, going to the gym, and that really changed things. But it's all mental. You just gotta push every day and reinvest your money. Like all these PDR guys, and even when I hit a plateau in body work where you're making 140 grand a year ish. And I made that for so many years, and I was just like, you're just treading water at that. Go to the next step, set your goal. Like pretty soon when we go to MTE, my wife and I that's when we don't have kids and we could sit down and talk. We're going to set our goals again this year. Cause 22, we didn't buy any houses cause the market was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So there was nothing, like we buy lower end houses that are cheaper and need a lot of work. We renovate them, get them up, either rent them or sell them. Obviously in 21, we sold them because the market's crazy. But yeah, this past year, we didn't buy anything. I focused on the shop, and we did really good. So we put a paint prep in, mixing bank. So that was like my 22 goal, was to get this shop really what it needs to be.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the shop. So, like, how big is it? What do you service? How many guys do you have?
Okay, so the shop we have is 6,000 square foot. So I'm in the front. I would call it 2 units, but it's actually like 4 units of my building. My building is 9,900 square foot. The reason when it was built, it's just under. I think it's actually 9,999. So it's just under 10,000. Our city requires irrigation or sprinkler system for fires 10,000 and up. So when they built it, they did it a square foot less, so they didn't have to do that. Yeah. So a little loophole there in this area. But so we have 10,000 square foot, I would say, and then our unit is 6,000. We have, I built an office. We have 2 nice bathrooms for customers.
I got to tell you, I did see your Instagram, and your shop's pretty nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really
It
nice
was a
shop.
lot of work. Again, I did all the work myself. There's certain things like garage door openers. I have a friend that has a garage door opener company, and he put those in. But other than that, like all the interior work, the bathroom remodels, I did it all after hours. So I bought this building, and I had to lease out the back units for the loan to go through. So I moved up here into my back unit. There's like, if I show you guys, like the shop has like a doorway where it goes to another unit where I'm going to be doing the Restore FX, and I'm doing my light paint work, stuff like that. We have a prep station and stuff back there now. But we were working, I set that up like my little shop, and I was working out of there while renovating this whole front area, because we had to continue to work and renovate at the same time. So we kept it like the front big area tarped off, and we were doing work out of like the middle unit. And it worked out. We made it happen. But you always got to set these, like, have a plan, you know, and I had to have a freaking plan, and there's nobody there to back me or anything. It was just me. And I had to make sure that I got that income coming in through rent. Then I had to make sure that my business could continue to run. So I did that. And then once we moved everything up here, then I started renovating that unit for prep paint and going into that kind of stuff, which next year we're going to really push the light collision. And I said we're doing Restore FX. So we're going to training next month. So middle of February, we're going to training for that. And
that's awesome.
We've been doing the build out and everything. It's tough running the company, doing the dent work, and starting another company, but you just got to do it, and you make time for it, and you make it happen. Another thing with this building, when I bought it, it has headers all the way through. So I can literally, when I want to grow and a tenant moves out, I can blow that one wall out, and there's a header there and connect the whole building.
Nice.
That's the way they designed it. So it was like perfect setup, and it's 5 minutes from my house. The building was built in 2000, so it's a real nice building. And
what kind of tenants do you have in there?
I have 2 roofing companies.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
So and they're good. They usually pay. One pays up front 6 months out of the year. So I'm always in my calendar like, all right, he's paid up to this date, and then like give me a reminder. Yeah, but roofing companies are cool. The only thing is when they pull in with trailers, they have nails and stuff and roofing stuff. So I gotta walk my lot and check for nails, because I don't want to nail in the customer's tires. So
yeah,
it's my only complaint.
So you opened up your office, your stall, and how long ago after that did you bring in employees?
So I actually, when we were renovating this, I had hired on Jeff, which is my hourly guy. And he actually lost his job right at COVID. So I worked like a full year, and he was unemployed for a full year. So he would come up and watch what I was doing, because he was intrigued by it. I started teaching him how to do dents. He didn't really take on to it. And he will eventually, but he wanted to do more of the writing in the office, and he details cars. He'll do everything anything I need him to. He's always there. But I did have my guy, Tom. He's my dent tech. He's older guy. He's been with Dent Wizard, I think, for 15 years, and went off on his own. And then he just kind of wants to skate by and do his thing. I let him have Mondays off. He was with me when I was in the back unit, because I knew I was buying the building. I told him, and I was getting it all prepped, and I wanted him working and ready to make that transition. So he was actually my first hire. And quick story how I found him. I got to share this. My uncle's an inspector for the city, right? And he was driving, and he's got to pull all the signs that people put in their yards, because you're not allowed to have them. So he texted me a picture the one day, and I'm driving out to a body shop to do a job. It's like dent repair in like a Sharpie marker. Dent repair, called this number. And he's like, oh, you have competition, just joking around, like just trying to like mess with me, thinking that I would just like laugh and shrug it off. I called him. I'm like, what's up, dude? I'm like, I'm a local PDR guy. I just wanted to introduce myself. If you ever need help, if we get a hailstorm, whatever. And I'm like, if you want to work together or you need help with anything, I said, call me. And he's like, well, actually, I'm not doing too good, and I might just be getting a job doing construction work on Monday.
Wow.
I'm like, hold on. I'm like, come talk to me. And I had a dent lined up for him to see what he can do. This dude's a magician. Tom's my right hand man. He all his tools are homemade and they're amazing. And I put like a real LED light in front of him. So now he has an A1 light that I got him set up with. And he is a very good tech.
Talk about something meant to be, right? Like perfect timing.
Right time.
Yep. I could have just been like, oh yeah, screw this guy, he's competition. And
good luck.
And never would have had. And this dude, he's a good friend of mine. Like these guys are my family now. And so I hired him on that way. Then Jeff has been a friend of mine for a long time, and he was in hard times. And I just told him, I'm like, hey, if I don't take you on now hourly, I don't know when we will. I said, let's jump, let's do it. And I took that lead, put him on payroll, and he's been here ever since. Tom's been here. And then the last guy I actually hired the first of last year. So he's been here exactly a year. I got a call. I'm like, I'm doing dents, and Tom and Jeff are working, and I get a call, answer it. And he's like, hey, are you guys hiring? And I would get that a lot at that time because people had to fill job applications out to stay on unemployment. So I would just give the quick, do you know anything about cars? What's your background? And if they were like, no, I worked at a factory, sorry, we're not hiring right now. But this kid, he's like, hey, yeah, I used to do wheel repair. He's like, I'm a PDR tech, and he was from Maryland, so right by you somewhere. he was working at a body shop. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, come up and see me. And he's like, I'm dating a girl. I met her playing video games, believe it or not. And he's like, I'm going to be moving there to Menor. And I'm like, all right, come see me. Thanksgiving, he came and saw me. I took him and his girlfriend to dinner, talked to him. He's been working for me ever since.
What's his name?
Brandon Barr. And I think Chase Clark, I want to say, trained him. Pretty sure.
Sack Blue here just said, a great example of a good open mind and caring heart. And I couldn't agree with him more. Like, that is, my hats to you, man.
Thank you.
I don't know what your parents fed you or or what, but
what's the future bring? What's your plan?
That's awesome. Man.
So right now, my 23 goals, I'm going to get into Airbnbs or more commercial buildings because I like commercial buildings. We're looking in Florida for Airbnbs, so I want to toy with that a little bit. But I'm also looking at a collision shop that had a fire. The guy's getting out of it. I did all the jobs that were there for him, and again, he heard down the grapevine that. He's like, I heard you were a really good guy. I want my customers to come to you. So he refers his customers to me. He's like, I can't service them. My shop caught fire and I'm done. He's like, this is it. So I'm actually looking to open a collision shop there. Now, this is like up in the air, but this is something that I feel that I could pull off and I want to.
You sold me, man. I actually believe you can do it. And I actually believe you're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm pushing for it now. I already have my my loan officer. Everything's lined up, and I want to buy the building. I'm not one. I don't like renting the buildings because one, I want my customers to know I'm here to stay. I'm not going nowhere. I bought the place. This is my home, and I want the city to know too. Like, I'm a part of the Chamber of Commerce. I joined that. And I want them to know, like, I'm here for the city. I like really what makes me feel good is doing good for people and helping. And it's better than money, to be honest. Yeah. Obviously, we need the money to stay in business, but I want to continue to grow. I want to offer like good collision repair for my customers. And I go over everything with them. I send them photos as we're doing the dents. We're taking the door off. I send them photos. I text them, update them, over inform them. because I just want them to know like what you're paying for is getting done. And if we don't have to take that trim panel off and we row for it, bet your ass it's coming off the estimate. I'm not charging for it. So we are just growing our business off honesty, integrity, and it's just our main core value. And I'm teaching the guys that. My guys have learned a lot too from that, you know, and I think they're better people from it when they see that you can grow a legitimate business. We work hand in hand with local detail companies. One of my good friends, Ryan, down the road, he's actually coming to Mobile Tech with me. I got him to come to the expo with me.
That is cool.
So he's flying down Wednesday, and I'm excited for him to see it because he's a young kid and he's kicking ass. He has a couple employees working for him. He has a nice building. He's actually working on buying the building. So I keep telling him, I'm like, do it. You can do it. Just get it. And he's working with the landlord on buying that. And the kid, he's like 23 years old, and he's just killing the game.
It sounds like you could almost run your education class for MTE too.
Yeah, I would love to do
like
that.
You have all the qualifications and you've made it happen.
Yeah,
and I think you can. I've been saying for a while, like PDR guys, if you could get a small, like smart repair shop, like bumpers or a dent that you can't get all the way out or it's stretched, I think you can almost double dip. You know what I mean? You can almost, hey, I can't fix it, but we have another shop down the road or whatever, a shop in the back that we can do a smart repair, get you back in it faster than a standard body shop. Not like frame repairs or, you know, big replacement roof panels or anything crazy. But I think that's a huge market. I know the guys in the UK have been doing that for years and do really, really well.
Yeah, and that's what my shop is converting to. Like I feed my PDR guys the PDR work. And again, coming from a collision background, when we were saying what is it beneficial for a body man to become a PDR tech, it's showing right here because I'm literally taking on small collision jobs. We have a mixing bank. We mix our own paint. I actually got it to start with just to make brush touch paint for little nicks and tips and stuff. And I put a prep back in, and we're just doing small things. And when my customers come here with a train wreck, I send them to my body shop. So it's a win-win there because I'm referring work to the body shops that refer me work. And it's just, like I said, working with the local detail companies and sending them work and working together. Me and Ryan down the road, we always have a joke, like I'll like write him a check for $500 for detailing a car. And then I'm doing dents for him. And we just hand money back and forth. I think we're just going to stop paying each other.
Just moving numbers at that point.
Yeah, we're just moving numbers at that point. Like I gave him a check back today because he did a detail for me. I'm like, hey dude, that detail is $500, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, you wrote me a check just the other day for $500. Here it is. Rip it up. So, but yeah, working together with local companies and just being honest with people, man, it's awesome.
Yeah. For anyone watching the show or in the future or right now that they say, you know what, man, I want to be like Ryan. What do I need to do? Like, how do I walk in that direction? What's your advice, man?
Stay humble and never screw anybody over. Don't lie. And work your ass off. It's not easy. I make it sound easy, man. I was at these houses, flipping them, renovating them till, like I said, 2-3 in the morning. Yeah. And I have dirt, dust in my eye. It's not easy, but do the work. It's going to pay off. Like I'm the happiest I've ever been. And I'm still hungry. I still want to do more. I feel like I can do more. And I would just say, just stay humble, be honest, and just do the best you can do.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How does it feel just being able to tell us your story in like the last 45 minutes and just knowing that's like telling that story back to yourself? How does that feel right now?
It feels good because sometimes you forget, where you started. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's a good reminder. I got a couple videos from friends of mine. I posted up a New Year video just thanking everybody and just explaining where we're at. I don't know if you guys seen it on my page or if you follow it. And a lot of people reached out to me and they actually sent me videos. And man, I was in tears. Like Dave sent me a video. He's on his cruise ship. Dave Detloff, he sent me a video. Just, man, it was amazing. I'm sitting there in my chair at home, drinking my coffee, just in like literally in tears, just knowing like to that gratitude, like, damn, I did a good job this year. You know what I mean? You don't realize it. So you go day to day, and yeah, it's great to have that reminder. So if I can help remind people how kick-ass they are day to day, I try to text my friends and people I know to just like motivate them for that day. I'll be in the sauna in the gym, and I'll just think of one person and just say, hey, have a kick-ass day. I hope you do good.
That's cool.
You know, I'm proud of you, or anything like that. It's cool. It feels good.
If people want to be a part of Ryan's live, how do they find you?
They could find me. So I'm on Instagram as Rye the Dent Guy. So you can find me there. Facebook, I Paintless Dent Repair. You can check out my website, campbelldentrepair.com. And I'm trying my YouTube channel, and I don't know, I must not be that cool on videos.
Hey man, it takes time.
Yeah, I gotta get better at filming. I'm not good.
You did a great job today.
You know what? You know what a good thing is with social media and YouTube and all these things, you can look back. You look back at things, and everything is almost time stamped. You know what I mean? Like I sit at my shop, and my YouTube channel just plays all day long. And a lot of times it's the live shows because people enjoy sitting in there watching them. But I started playing like old repair videos, and I'm like, oh, that's a terrible video. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. Or I remember the first show 4 years ago when we started this. I'm like, man, I was so nervous. You know, so the good thing with YouTube is you timestamp that. You know what I mean? And you go back and you're like, man, that was such a crazy time. You know, and it kind of brings you back. But I tell everybody all the time, perfect example, Josh Dragos, don't be scared. Just do it. Nobody cares. You just put yourself out there. We get a lot of guys on here that we interview, and they're like, I'm so nervous. Like, we're just talking. It's like we're FaceTiming each other. It's nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan, you have an awesome story, man, and thank you for coming on the show and sharing with us. I hope that for anyone and everyone that you've sparked that motivation to keep going
100%.
and keep growing, and that anything and everything is possible as long as you have perseverance, set yourself goals, daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals.
mental state is what it is.
Mental state, yeah, protect that.
I always think with an open mind too. You know, you can't put them blindfolds on. You know, you gotta always think of the best. Like I tell my guys, think of positive, and they'll joke around with me and give me shit about it. But like you just make good out of whatever you have. And be thankful for it.
Don't think in the now. I had a talk with a tech this week, and it was about handling a customer, and he was trying to get, not that tech, but he was working with somebody that was trying to get the most money for this one repair, right? And the repair was just so. And he was like, the check cashed, but it's not in the now. You got to look long term. Mm-hmm. We're all building our businesses right now, right? We're trying to grow. We're trying to add services, whatever we can do. But you got to remember, your freest and your easiest customer is a repeat customer. You don't have to sell them. They already know you. Mm-hmm. They're fine with the pricing, and they're going to come back. So you got to look past now. You need to look in the future and keep them coming. You know what I mean? So it's not always about, even if you get a repair and you can't get it 100%, they're still going to pay the $500. If you drop it to $400, what's $100? They're going to be back.
Yep.
So, that was one thing I wanted to say tonight, was it just sparked me this week that when we were talking, I was like, you got to look in the future. You can't look now. Everybody wants we're in the now part of the world. We all Amazon, everything's now, but you got to look long term. If you're in this for the game, you need to look way past what we can see. Yeah. So that's all. I'm just spouting because I thought it was a really good conversation that I had with this tech.
See what I mean, right? You even lift up Shuddy here. He got him going too.
So, I appreciate you coming on, Rye. It was good. And like I said, I am truly sorry for pushing you off for a couple weeks.
No, it's all good, man. It's fine. I know things come up, and I think that one time was that storm. We lost power.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Don't feel bad at all. I'm glad I was able to make it, and I can't wait to see you guys at MTE, and we'll all hang out and get to know each other better and stuff. I can't wait to see everybody at that. Everybody that's commenting. Hey, if you see me, just walk up to me and introduce yourself. Say hi. I'm kind of quiet, but definitely, like, somebody starts talking to me, I'll talk to you for hours. If anybody needs anything or needs any advice or whatever, I hope I can help. I learn every day, so I'm still learning a lot of stuff in life and where I'm going and stuff like that. So I don't know anything. Here's my boy Chase. I used to work with him. Best painter I know right there. He's learning PDR right now, so I gotta give him some tips on that. I think he was just training with Jim Mitchell.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So I told him, I'm like, you go to one of the best places right there to get trained. So I'm excited. He's going to be at MTE too. So I'm excited to introduce him.
It's going to be fun. MTE is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ryan, for being who you are in our industry and showing the world what we're all about. You know, like I said, anyone and everyone who's watched the show or is going to watch the show, I hope they get inspired by your story. And thank you for sharing. Sorry that it took too long. It was Ryan's fault.
It was my fault.
That power shutdown would have not happened if it was in Cali. It isn't like that. Cali weather. But yeah, thank you for coming on, man. It's been
thanks for having me, man. It's an honor to even be like when Ryan sent me the message, I'm like, oh man, that's an honor to get the invite. So I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me. If there's anything you guys ever need, just hit me up.
Cool.
I'm always here for everybody. So
and everybody go follow him, check out his pages, check out his YouTube. Give him some love.
Give me some advice. Tell me what you guys want to see. I'll make a video. So it's hard. Like I'm always like holding my phone. I got this new arm that holds my phone, but I'll be videoing something and somebody's going to calls me, and I'm like, that video.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, Ryan, thanks for a great show, and enjoy your night.
All right, you too.
Thanks
we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you guys there. Safe travels, everybody going there, and I'll see everybody.
Definitely. See ya.
Thanks for
Bye-bye. It was a good one.
Wow.
I've been watching him. I've been peeping, been watching his stuff, putting the sign up, and it's been a fun journey. And we've never talked. You know what I mean? That's a good thing I enjoy, because you can just reach out to random people and you're like, hey, I'd love to get you on the show. And they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It was a great show. I mean, I'll be honest. I was inspired. If there's something that I'll take from his story, is just definitely, don't stop setting yourself goals. Keep up with those daily goals, those weekly goals, those yearly goals. I think that we all get to a point where we're comfortable. We're like, I know goals, but do you got one? About goals, you need that stuff, but do you have one?
And it's all about your comfort zones. Sometimes you got to step out.
Absolutely.
I'm that guy. Like, I look at me, I'm the guy, like, let's just do it. My wife's like, well, she's a little more reserved. That's why we're like a perfect match, because I'm like, let's go do this. We're going to do it now. I think we should buy this, or, we should do that. And she's like, well, let's give it a little more time. And I'm like, no, let's go. So, we're back to that having support. But I think the biggest thing is just don't be scared to take chances.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to learn is to take a chance. You know what I mean? It's just like you talking about doing PPF. That's a huge step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Just trying to set those goals. Yeah.
It's you got to do it. Believe me, I would have never thought that 4 years ago we'd be doing what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing stuff that I'm looking at guys, I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, I can't tint windows. Come on. I'm a dent guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's you just got to sometimes take a chance and step out.
And like he said too, just like, you know, the simple rules of life: be honest, don't cheat, don't lie, don't try to rip people off. You know, simple.
One key point I'm going to put out there as the old wise man here, since I'm much older than both of you guys.
I forgot to ask him how old he was.
I tell people all the time, you know, they're like, how do you have such good reviews? Like I've got a pretty good Google reviews. Treat people like people.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. It's not always about making money. Just treat people like people. That's all you got to do. And they'll be back. And it's easy. It's so easy. Put yourself in their shoes. Their car's dented. They're upset. Let's make it right.
Yeah.
So, Manny, great night.
Words of Mr. Campbell: start broke every day. I love that. Start broke every day. Set yourself some goals.
Ryan's 34.
Oh, 34. Okay.
So
wow. Look at that. That's awesome.
It was a good show. It was a good show.
Yeah.
Next week's gonna be good too. We got a little surprise for Kevin Bird that me and you got to work on.
Yeah.
So it should be fun. It should be a fun show. I'm excited to hear some of the stuff that's planned too. So
yeah, join us, guys. We're going to talk about details about Mobile Tech Expo MT going down in what, a couple weeks, 20 days.
I don't think we won't have a show.
Wait,
that'll be our last show.
Days.
That'll be our last show until MTE.
Yeah.
Right.
We actually no, we still got one more week. So yeah, we got 2 more weeks.
Oh yeah.
And then it's MTE. So
well, what we're gonna do the following week is a tech call out to see who's going.
Okay.
So everybody in here,
give them a hard time.
So, all right, buddy.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate your support. We
a lot of new people tonight too. It was
industry.
It was good.
And join us next week. We'll talk MT details. So thank you, guys.
It'll be a hell of a night.
Happy New Year's to everyone too.
Yeah, 2023.
You know, we came in with a banging show.
We did.
Show.
We did. Maybe it was good that we saved them.
Right.
It was meant to be.
It all works out.
You guys have a fantastic night, Manny. Thank you again. We will chat.
Yeah.
Keep it real. Be safe.
See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.